All right, so welcome to today's talk. I want to talk to you today about Mr. RTC, that is Robert Thomas Cook. So we know a lot about Hahnemann, Kent, Nash, and so many other homeopaths, but there are many heroes which we have forgotten. And my endeavor is to study them, to understand what they did, and apply those ideas in my practice and share with you. And few sub ideas I have been trying to learn from RTC, that is Robert Thomas Cooper. So first, let's try to understand who this person was, and then we will try to understand the magnanimity of the person. So this guy was from Dublin, and he was an allopathic doctor and basically a ENT specialist. This is very interesting. We have in homeopathy, we had a homeopath Norton, who was an ophthalmologist. This guy was a ear doctor. He was known as the mother tinctures person or the low potency man, and his results in cancers were probably one of the best. In fact, Burnett calls him as greater than him, and we always talk about Burnett, but we never talk about Cooper. So I wanted to share about who was Cooper, and he worked a lot on plant remedies. Somehow, he developed this idea about arbovital remedies, and he believed that in all plant remedies there was some healing power. And many remedies he started using in that way. For example, Scrofularia nodosa was actually worked by Cooper. Iris versicolor that we use for acidity is by Cooper. Ornithogalum is by Cooper. Thalaspibursa pastoris, Cooper. Juniperus, Crocus. Matthiola, Silphium for Qatar. Brassica. All these remedies are little lesser known remedies, but they work like amazing, especially when indicated. So Tyler used to talk very highly about Cooper. So if you read Tyler's drug pictures, you will see a lot about it as well. But he was a kind of a meticulous recorder of every single symptom, and that's why he could become the great homeopath himself. Cooper not only worked on ear diseases but also on cancers, but mainly he is known for mother tinctures or low potency homeopath. I think the main thing that I want to tell you about Cooper is that, and what inspired me into studying this was that you all read Clark Materia Medica, but if you actually read Clark and if you read about everything, Cooper started a very interesting movement. It is called as a Cooper movement in homeopathy, where he would initially meet Clark and Burnett initially at least once a month, and they would meet at dinner and they would discuss about all the interesting cases that they would share and how they would solve. And later on, Thomas Skinner also joined, and they almost met for 10 years. Every week, on a weekday in the evening, they would meet, they would talk about therapeutics, they would talk about remedies, they would talk about interesting cases, they would talk about politics in homeopathy. And obviously, after some point, Cooper died, but still, people started meeting, and it was called as the Cooper Club because this was a movement started by him. And this is fascinating for me, and I think this is the need of the hour for all of us. I think we all need to start our Cooper Club. I, I think that we need to make like minded people in and around us. We need to meet, we need to discuss, we need to talk about our difficult cases, our cured cases. We have to learn from each other. This is the need of the hour. And and the kind of learning and growth that happens when you are doing that so I'm not telling you to meet 15 people, but you will find one or two interesting people who are really have that kind of connection. In fact, as we speak, one of very close, you can say, um, colleague of mine, Dr. Paranzape from Pune, who's a lecturer from Lokmanya Tirak College, and he has himself started in the college, and I have to really respect and congratulate the college. They have started a Cooper Club almost with hundred of doctors, and they meet few times in a month, and they discuss about their cases, difficult cases, cured cases. There's an interesting learning. We need to develop this. We need to develop this art of sharing, learning, growing together. This is what we can learn from Cooper. And this discussion that would happen with Cooper, Burnett, Clark would note down everything. And the whole book, Clark Materia Medica, Clark 1, 2, 3, sorry, Clark 1 and 2, both the volumes and 3 volumes, are written from the notes of that discussion. This is the magnanimity. And we read Clark today. So we are actually reading all the discussions of what they used to do. And you will know that after 200 years, people would want to read what we are doing, or what mistakes we are doing, or what results we are giving. We need to develop this kind of discussion. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Special thanks to Juhi, Amina, Dr. Pratik, Alpesh. Always, you can write to me what you think about. This is my email ID, gaurang@gmail.com. And write to me, did you start your own Cooper Club?